Good afternoon. It's Wednesday, July 17. I'm Herman Green with your midday news. For those of you watching on our online platform, onespotmedia.com, a special welcome to you. Thanks for joining us. The latest data show the number of people living below the poverty line declined by almost 20% in 2016. The data were reported in the latest Jamaica survey of living conditions tabled in Parliament on Tuesday. The details in this report.
The Jamaica Survey of Living Conditions shows the individual poverty rate in 2016 was 17%, representing a decline of 4% when compared with the rate in 2015. It pointed out that a number of positive indicators in the economy helped to account for the decline, chiefly economic growth of 1.4% between 2015 and 2016, which saw just under 39,000 more people finding work. It also showed that people were spending more as well. The data show that average consumption went up by almost 5%, driven largely by those who live in rural areas. That increase was due mainly to an increase in agricultural production in 2016, which earned more money for rural households. And as poverty fell, inequality, that is the gap between the lowest and highest earnings, fell to the lowest it has been since 1991. Still, as outlined in the Survey of Living Conditions, the average consumption of the wealthiest 20% of the population was 6 times that of the poorest 20%. O'Shane Masters, TVJ News.
And the Statistical Institute of Jamaica, Statin, today released the latest labor force survey results. The announcement was made at a press briefing just moments ago. TVJ's Andrew Laidley was there and filed this report.
The results are in, and the Statistical Institute of Jamaica is reporting that Jamaica's unemployment rate is down to 7.8% as at April 2019. That's down 2% over last April. Now we're seeing where that's added 29,900 more persons to the employed labor force. Most of those persons are males, totaling 18,200 persons. So where are the jobs coming from? Well, firstly, we're seeing where construction is contributing significantly to the employed labor force this year. We're also seeing where the security forces, that's the JDF and the police forces and other public bodies, are employing more persons. So that's it for now, but we will have more data to share with you in primetime news at 7. That is the consumer prices, which were also released today, and also the GDP figures for the first quarter of 2019. See you then.
Thanks, Andrew. Opposition spokesman on education, Ronald Thwaites, has threatened to take to the streets in protest if he is not pleased with the verdict delivered in the Education Ministry scandal. He was speaking at a party meeting in central Kingston where he warned of a possible cover-up by the government.
If it happens, I hope it doesn't, that the investigations about the Ministry of Education wash out and don't come to nothing, I am going to call on our constituents in central Kingston to join me and demonstrate before the gates of the Ministry of Education and say, lock them up, give back the money, no more birthday party, no more Wakanda, no more besmirching the reputation of the helper and the driver by making them open bank account. You give them 2 tin of paint for their pains while you draw millions of dollars out of it for your own purposes and to run political campaign.
He admitted that the PNP had also made mistakes over the years, but says the party has also taken steps to strengthen its position in Jamaica. Mr. Thwaites had this message for party members who are not on board.
You cannot try to undermine the organization that you propose to lead. You cannot do that. You can be critical of the organization, but you must work through the organization and follow the procedures of the organization. Those who have come in the last year and a half, 2 years, and have sought to upset the organization never came to us and said, look here, I want to be a member, I want to work with you. And therefore we have had to crush them. Because otherwise the organization would be weak, and the People's National Party has to strengthen its organization.
There are concerns that the corruption allegations rocking the Education Ministry have resulted in some members of the diaspora now questioning whether they should invest in the country's education sector. The opposition spokesman on education, Ronald Thwaites, indicated they have raised concerns about the National Education Trust, which was set up to mobilize financial and other types of support for schools in Jamaica. Mr. Thwaites was speaking at a media briefing at the People's National Party's headquarters in St. Andrew on Tuesday.
Concerns from education interests in the diaspora who are wondering how much trust they can put in the National Education Trust. The miasma, the cloud surrounding the contracting and the activity of this Mistress Dunswell raises that issue. What is happening to that money? How much is being collected and how is it being devolved for the transformation of education, which they are wish to contribute to?
The latest data from the police show major crimes are up 4.5% since the start of the year. Murders are up just over 1%, with 10 more murders recorded at July 13 when compared with the same period last year. Total murders between January 1 and July 13 amounted to 722. 11 of the 19 police divisions show an increase in murders. The St. Andrews South Police Division is the bloodiest, recording 95 murders. Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett is again talking up the benefits of the imminent Tourism Workers' Pension Scheme. According to projections from the ministry's technocrats, the economy would benefit from billions of dollars in deductions and contributions from the workers in the scheme. For Mr. Bartlett, this would be a game changer.
In time, the largest pool of domestic savings that this economy would have provided. And you know, in basic economics, we know that real growth comes when we are able to convert domestic savings into investment. Meaning to say, you don't have to pay back anybody in a foreign bank for the development and the investment that you're making in Jamaica, because your bank, your own financial resources, your capital store in Jamaica will be adequate to take care of the investment needs.
And we now take a break here on the Midday News, but stay with us. We have more stories when we return. Welcome back, continuing the news. The government says it's hoping to have the child diversion program up and running before year end. This means the rehabilitation for child offenders will come on stream through the program. The expectation is that through this ministerial partnership, less children will pass through the court system. TVJ's Anthony Lugg reports.
The Child Diversion Act was passed in Parliament last year. It seeks to deal with deviant behavior in children outside the formal court system.
A holistic approach is needed to tackle the criminal elements that continue to lure or abuse children. With the leadership of the Honorable Derochuk and his team, in collaboration with the Ministry of National Security, departments and agencies, the National Child Diversion Program will be fully implemented by November this year.
Child diversion consultant Ruth Carey says children aged 12 to 17 will benefit from the program once suspected, accused, or convicted of an offense. These include sexual offenses, trespassing, larceny, or any other offense outlined by the Act or determined by the court. But not all child offenders will be eligible.
A child who commits or attempts to commit or any other offense within 3 years after the date of commencement of participation in the diversion program. After the child has received 3 referrals to the program, the child is ineligible. A child who does not accept responsibility for the offense in Section 9, and if the child or parent or guardian does not consent to the offense.
So, with the program being an alternative to the formal system, how will these children be treated?
Oral or written apology, attend school for a specified period of time, report to a specified person, spend a specified number of hours with the child's family, associate with persons or peers believed to be of positive influence on the child, refrain from associating with prohibited persons, desist from visiting or frequenting or remaining at a specified place. Most importantly, attend counseling or therapy sessions.
The Act provides for the establishment of parish committees to oversee the program. A National Child Diversion Oversight Committee will also be set up. This will include correctional and probation officers, representatives from the Office of the Children's Advocate, and Justice of the Peace. Anthony Lugg, TVJ News.
Some good news for the health sector now, as the neonatal intensive care unit at the University Hospital of the West Indies had its emergency treatment facilities improved through the acquisition of several specialized medical machines. The state-of-the-art equipment were donated by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and value approximately $3 million. The machines include 2 infusion pumps, 1 incubator, 3 Eden IM70 monitor with neonatal NIBP cables, 4 Baum neonatal cuffs, 4 SpO2 wrap sensors, 1 Eden ECG cable, and 3 Eden skin temperature probes. Head of the Child and Adolescent Health Department at the hospital, Dr. Roxanne Melbourne Chambers, said the donation will significantly assist in improving the quality of care delivered to sick newborns admitted to the unit.
Capacity for about 30 babies, and these babies we care for are either sick or born prematurely, and so are very low birth weight, requiring a lot of support. So they require heat, they require nutrition, sometimes special medications, and care until they grow to a particular age.
And it's time now for a preview of what's coming up in this evening's Health Report.
In the next edition of the Health Report, we'll look at chemical burns.
The paper that everybody quotes is actually a paper published from Jamaica in the early 80s, where they talked about, women assaulting women, over, I guess spousal relations. But the pattern has changed. In other words, we're seeing more males being assaulted this time around.
That's the Health Report this evening in Primetime News. And now for today's healthy living tip. To treat chemical burns, flush the chemical off the skin with cool running water for at least 10 minutes. Remove clothing or jewelry that has been contaminated by the chemical. Put bandage on the burn and see your doctor immediately.
We go down to sports. At sports time, the Sunshine Girls are leading Scotland 50-23 at the end of the third quarter of their preliminary Stage 2 group match at the Netball World Cup in Liverpool, England. Now, earlier this morning, England booked their place in the semi-final after beating Trinidad and Tobago 72-46. The Commonwealth Games champions won all 4 quarters, 2012, 2011, 17-10 and 16-13 for the comprehensive 27-goal win. Goal attack, Helen Housby led all scorers with 21 goals from 24 attempts. South Africa could also cement their place in the semi-final when they play Uganda at 1 p.m. And Jamaica's quest to take part in football at the 2020 Olympic Games begins on Wednesday when they kick off their preliminary round of the CONCACAF men's qualifiers at the Tony Spalding Sports Complex at 6:30. The young Reggae Boys will face Dominica in Group A action, where only the winner of the 3-team group will advance to the second round.
Failed, but Coach Donovan Duckey has been entrusted with the responsibility to take Jamaica's football where it has never been before, the Olympic Games. The first step will take place against Caribbean opponents, with Dominica being their opening test, a test that Duckey says will come with its level of difficulties.
For me, it will be more difficult to play against them than even the teams in CONCACAF. But the preparation has been going well, and we're looking forward to the game on Wednesday.
About 50% of players in the squad have had senior team experience, while all the local-based players have taken part in the Red Star Premier League.
Kudos must be given to Rudolph Speed from Cavaliers. He did something that is almost unprecedented in Jamaican history of the Premier League. He played the most under 20 players in his team in the Premier League. We have never seen that. The other teams in Jamaica, they followed through, and they also played a number of youngsters. Credit must be given to Portmore Harbourview for doing so.
As for the Tony Spalding Sports Complex, Duke says it was strategically chosen to host the games.
When first they spoke about where should we play, and I saw the 3 venues, immediately I said Arnett, and they would be my fiercest rival in local club football, but they are the most respected fans, some of the most respected fans that I know when it comes on to football support. So I was very excited to have us playing in Arnett Garden.
One of the players who is looking towards the game is midfielder Carl Butler.
It's been a long time coming. It's been a long journey, and I have to be grateful for my dad and Phoenix for it. I believe the time is right. I'm 21 years old, and Leon has just made his debut in the first team as well. So it's just up to me to make my mark here in Jamaica and with the team and do our best in the Olympic qualifiers.
And with his name being on everyone's lip, it means added pressure. But Butler says it's not one to break him.
I just know that pressure comes with football, and wherever you go, you have to be able to deal with pressure. So I'm very calm and relaxed. We have a good team, and once I play for the team, then individual qualities will show. So I'm just eager to be on the pitch.
The other team in the group is St. Kitts and Nevis, and they will play Dominica on Friday. Renardo Brown for TVJ Sports.
And just an update on the Sunshine Girls match. It's now 60-35 in that game. The Sunshine Girls still leading there. But that wraps up the midday news. I'm Herman Green. Join us at 7 for the primetime news package. On behalf of the news, sports, and production teams, good afternoon.